Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be with you all today because I am passionate about this topic and this presentation, which normally takes me 60 minutes. But in these 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the most vital things about truly great thank yous. Let's dive in. Number one, your thank you sets the stage for the future. Gone are the days when funders just hand you a check and you do a little report and that's it. You want to continue that relationship, right? Funders want to continue that relationship. So with a good thank you, you are starting off on the right foot. And your thank you is often read closely. So please give it the same attention that you gave to your grant proposal. Next, make your thank you fit the funder. Very important. You'll see sometimes in grant applications where funders will say, how will you recognize this award? Great. So you know kind of what they're expecting. But sometimes smaller funders don't ask that question. So before you do some of the big suggestions I will share later on in this presentation, check with the funder. They may not want a lot of hoopla, balloons, etc. They may want to remain anonymous. So make certain you look over your funder and know how they would like to be appreciated. Third, thank you basics. Okay, this may be tough. I know you all are busy, but you've got to turn around and thank that funder within 48 hours. I'm talking business here. So if you get the award on a Friday, it's okay to wait until Monday. In fact, I want to encourage you to do that because you want to do this right. But you don't want a funder just hanging out there like, gosh, I just gave them X amount of dollars and I'm not hearing anything. Not a good way to start off. So 48-hour turnaround. And also thank the funder whether they give you the grant, sponsorship, whatever, or not. When I first heard this years ago, and I've been doing this 24 years, everybody, I thought, what? Why would we want to thank the funder when we didn't get funding? Well, remember the relationships, right? You may not get funded this time, but maybe you'll be funded in the future. So if you're not funded, thank them anyway. They spent time reviewing your application. They deserve that. So thank them. And now it's time for that relationship building that I'm going to keep referring to. Maybe you can ask for some feedback now. You can also ask the funder, would they welcome another proposal in the future? You may not get anything back, but at least you tried. And that sets the stage for a good relationship. Next, thank you letter basic components. Your letter has to do triple duty, and maybe you've received thank you letters and you already know what I'm talking about. But a thank you letter shows appreciation, number one. Number two, it is their tax receipt. And number three, it's an invitation for more engagement. So you can maybe even put a little fun PS in there like, hey, are you going to be coming to our event next month? We would love to see you there. And you know, you can let them come for free, even better. Next, when you're doing your thank yous, no matter what it is, thank you letter or any creative things we'll talk about later, you need to focus on the funder, not your organization. And thank the donor like you're speaking to them. So this is kind of fun. You don't have to be as formal as you were in your grant proposal. You can be more heartfelt in your thank you. Also, on a thank you letter, include your name and number and email. You want them to be able to easily contact you. And once again, include that little PS. When is a funder going to hear from you next? Remember, it's all about continuing the relationship. And finally, on a thank you letter or thank you note, make it easy to read, just like your grant proposals. All right, so if you want to go beyond the basic thank you letter, if you have a little more time, I want to encourage you to get creative, okay? First, I would think about, if you can, executive directors doing a handwritten note. Now, you may have terrible handwriting like me, and you may be screaming saying, I'm not going to do that. Okay, how about a card, a good old Hallmark card that you just sign? that still takes some time. That shows effort. How about a thank you from a board member? Maybe a card, maybe a handwritten note from a board member. We all have those board members that are more introverted rather than extroverted, right? This may be their chance to really help you. So maybe you can assign a board member to this task. And finally, you can have a card signed by your staff members. So I got my start years ago at a therapeutic horseback riding center by the name of Agape, and they do all the things I just talked about. And it really makes me excited to get these thank yous now as a volunteer. It shows that they care. Am I going to keep volunteering for them? Well, for many reasons, yes, but this thank you is one of the reasons, one of the big reasons. And by the way, everybody, if you want an example of what is, in my opinion, the most outstanding thank you letter ever, I want you to please see the letter attachment that you have received for attending today. It's from the Dallas Zoo. I got it in 2013. Now, while your handout, which I admit was something I just plopped into a PDF and looks like a third grader made it, while it has the language, it's missing the cute zoo stationery and the paw print signature from Patrick Gorilla. So anyway, look at that, because that is a great example of an outstanding thank you letter. I wish I'd kept the original for you all. Okay, now we're going to get into creative low or no cost thank yous. Don't worry, this is another handout because there's going to be like 10 that I'm talking about today. So it's good that you're going to already have this. So sit back and relax and just digest these. First, a photo with your beneficiaries holding a thank you sign. I did this when I worked for the city I live in, Noblesville, Indiana. Got a sign made from my local sign shop. It was like $30. And I started to take pictures of kids and others who benefited from a grant, and I would just send that to the funder. And boy, did I get good response on that. So that's a lot of fun, super easy, low cost. Next, take photos of the project in action. So if your funder supported a certain program, send them a photo, 2, 3, 4, and let them know you made this happen. That is super awesome. And remember, it puts the focus right back on the funder, which we want to do. A thank you plaque or donor wall. So Agape does this. I see it every Thursday when I volunteer. You get a plaque and you just gradually add names to it. And hey, how cool is that? Because then when the funder comes to a site visit, they see their name right there. Next, a continental breakfast. And you might be thinking, whoa, Amy, that's not low cost. Sure it is if your grocery store donates it. So have a continental breakfast. You can even make it like a drive-through where a board member comes out with the breakfast in a sack for your funder. A board member thank-a-thon is a fun thing to do as well. Get your board members together during a meeting, take a half hour, and they all call 3 or 4 funders. And chances are they're just going to leave a voicemail, but that's much better than a spam that people typically get. Typical things I'll list next: news releases, mentioning funders in your annual report and newsletter. Another fun thing is artwork and a thank you from children or clients served. Once again, I mentioned pictures, artwork. Doesn't a picture say 1,000 words? Keep that in mind. Couple more things: a tree or shrub planting with a small recognition sign. Maybe you've got a funder that's all about sustainability. They're going to love that one. And finally, going back to phone calls, maybe your development director, executive director, or staff member can reach out and thank a funder on the phone. You're probably not going to get the person, but once again, what a great voicemail. Finally, I want to encourage you all, please have fun with these thank yous. It can be an absolute blast, and it's one of the favorite things about my profession. So in summary, please take these tips, use them, and put as much effort into your thank yous as you do your proposals. You'll build those relationships, get more funding, and increase your partnerships and success. And now I'm happy to share that we have 5 minutes for some brief Q&A time.